Since early January, Lakers head coach JJ Redick has been displaying his leadership skills both on and off the court. The first year coach is trying to balance Laker title aspirations while also trying to help rebuild the Palisades. And Redick and his family lost everything in the fire. And despite living in the Palisades for just a short time, they've developed a strong bond within the community. And LA Times Laker writer Dan Woike recently returned to the Palisades with an emotional JJ Redick. Dan, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Talk to me about the Reddick family and how, again, just in a short amount of time, this had really become home for them.
Yeah, I think the thing that I noticed was the times when JJ sort of lost his composure, the times when he's sort of in front of us at least teared up.
The loss of like an entire community. That's like the hardest part to process.
It's not been about losing the home they were renting. It wasn't about losing the material possessions, some of which are irreplaceable. It was about losing community.
Right.
And when they moved from New York to Los Angeles, they have two young boys. When they found the Palisades, what they really, really loved was the rec center. They walked into the rec center the first day that they were there. They saw a youth basketball game happening in the gym. They could envision their kids participating in all those programs. It was a place where, so many places in LA, JJ Redick is, Lakers coach, JJ Redick. There he was Knox and Kai's dad. And really, I heard this story from them. I heard it from other families too. As the fires were worsening around the Palisades, a lot of people's children weren't asking about their homes. They were asking about the rec center,
Yeah.
and whether or not it would still be there. And I think for him, it became very clear early on that where he wanted his sort of recovery efforts focused were on trying to bring back this piece of community to a place that meant so much to him and his family, and obviously it meant so much to their friends.
What I think the rec center like represents to the community and what it certainly.
Let's talk about just the night of when the fires are happening. He's in Dallas with the team, and then his wife is at home giving him alerts, keeping him updated. Talk about that night for the Reddick family.
Chelsea, JJ's wife, was shopping in Mid City. She rushed home, grabbed some stuff for a couple of days. Didn't really expect to be out of the house for that long. The Lakers play the Mavericks that night in Dallas, and JJ acknowledges the Fire's pregame. Happy that his family and his children are safe. Doesn't really know much other than that. Well, during the game, you start to get images. Like, on social media, there was a scout sitting next to me from the LA area watching the news on his laptop during the game. And you see that this isn't just a small brush fire,
Right.
that you see that this is going to be something that is going to change Los Angeles forever, and I think he got back to Los Angeles, drove to the Palisades. He called his wife crying and said, our house is gone, and tell everybody else theirs is gone too. And I think for me, seeing the destruction the first time, there's nothing that prepares you for the concept of everything being gone.
Then the first time he went back was with you on the time that you were able to spend with him. What was that
Mhm.
like for him to, again, relive it now that I'm there, now that I get to see it for the first time in quite some time?
I think there's like some shock in it, for him. I think there was also, again, sort of amazement at some of the stuff that was still standing. One of the things we saw, and we saw it in his backyard, like his basketball hoop, the one he assembled with his brother-in-law, is still standing. But as he walked through, again, the thing that he kept coming back to was both, community and sort of like, I think, optimism, maybe that, through this sort of private and public sort of plan that he has for the rec center.
Our short-term goal is to help rebuild and reimagine a new Palisades Park and Rec Center. Long-term, it's to build something sustainable so we can help with sports facilities all over LA.
That their foundation can really make a difference. First in the Palisades and in other fire-affected areas like in Altadena, where rec spaces were also damaged. But long-term, Calvin, as sort of a foundation that if your local gym needs a new court, like, you can go to this foundation and this will be what they do, because rec sports, youth sports meant a ton to JJ as a kid. It's meant a ton to his family.
Wishing JJ, his family, and all the families affected by the fires the best. Thank you so much, Dan. We appreciate you as always.
Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest information, balanced coverage, weather updates every 10 minutes, and more. We'll see you then.